Welcome to Parsha with Purpose, where each Parsha becomes a guide to living with meaning, serenity, and joy. At the end of the story of Korach, after the ground opens and the rebellion comes to its dramatic end, the Torah says something striking. And they shall no more be like Korach and his congregation. Some understand this not only as a warning, but as an actual prohibition. Don't become like Korach. Don't build yourself through conflict, ego, and division. But Rabbi Chaim Shmulevitz says that there's also something else hidden in these words. It's also a prophecy. There will never again be a machlokes, a dispute, like Korach and his followers. Why not? Because Korach's rebellion was unique. One side was completely right, and one side was completely wrong. And the Torah is telling us that almost never happens. Most disagreements are not 100 versus 0. They're 90-10, 80-20, maybe even 95-5. But almost never is one person entirely innocent and the other entirely guilty. And that's uncomfortable to hear, because when we're hurt, we want clarity. We want to feel justified. We want to say, I did nothing wrong. And sometimes, to be fair, the other person really did overreact. They spoke harshly, they acted unfairly, they hurt us deeply. But the Torah challenges us to ask a harder question. Even if they were mostly wrong, did I contribute even a tiny little bit? Maybe it was the tone. Maybe it was impatience. Maybe it was dismissiveness. Maybe it was something I said carelessly that landed more painfully than I realized. And that tiny percentage matters. Not because we should walk around drowning in guilt. Not because every situation is equally balanced. It isn't. The Torah is not asking us to accept mistreatment or pretend harmful behavior is fine. It's asking for something else. Can you be honest enough to see that you're human too? Because healing often begins the moment someone says, maybe I had a part in this. Not the whole part, not most of the part, just a part. And that takes tremendous strength. Our instinct is to protect ourselves by defending every inch of our position. But relationships are rarely repaired through perfect arguments. They're repaired through humility, through the willingness to soften, to say, I wish I'd handled that differently. I understand why that hurt you. I can see my peace in this. And perhaps that's the deeper warning of Korach. The danger is not only rebellion, the danger is the absolute certainty that I'm entirely right. Because when a person loses the ability to self-reflect, conflict becomes almost impossible to heal. They will never again be like Korach and his congregation, not only because Korach was wrong, but because real human relationships are more nuanced than that. And when we stop needing to be 100% right, we finally make room for connection, healing, and growth. Good Shabbos.